Hello and welcome once again. Now this is going to be my review of the Bear Grylls Gerber Ultimate Survival Knife. Okay, now I've had this knife about 2 years, so the review is long overdue. Okay, but that's good because it means that I've had time to baton with it, cut with it, hunt with it, everything. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to hit you with some specifications first of all. The overall length of this fixed blade knife, out of the sheath of course, is 10 inches or 25.4 centimetres. The blade length is 4.8 inches or 12.1 centimetres. The cutting edge is 4.6 inches or 11.7 centimetres. The weight without the sheath is 11.2 ounces or 317.5 grams. The weight with the sheath, it's 14.7 ounces or 416 grams. Okay, now that I've got that out the way with, let's talk about some of the features. The first thing that will hit you with this knife is the colour, the coloration. It's a nice grey, orange on grey coloration that they've used, that Gerber have used. It kind of fits in with the Bear Grylls kind of coloration, which has normally been orange on grey or orange on black. It's a coloration which you can easily spot in the wilderness. There's not many things that are orange lying about on the floor, or there shouldn't be, and so it's quite easy to, if you drop it for any reason. Okay, definitely. So say if you're using it as a spear to hunt some fish in the sea or something, depends obviously how murky the sea is, or in a pond or lake, and you drop it and it's on that bottom orange, you can quite easily see. Black knife or grey knife, or it's going to probably be quite difficult to spot. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep this review as short as possible, short and sweet. I do know that I overrun sometimes, so but hopefully everything that I do say is relevant. Okay, so some of the features. I've had this knife for over 2 years, and actually in 2011 it was voted it was the best-selling knife in the world. Okay, I actually do admit that I bought mine in 2011, so I contributed to that figure unconsciously. Okay, so here we go. We'll talk about some of the features like the sheath and things, okay, and then we'll talk about the knife and blade itself. So as you can see here, this was attached to the knife, to the handle there, but I took it off and put it on my fire starter thing. I thought it was more beneficial there. All I did was took it off and just hooked it around there. Now this whistle is quite loud. It's quite decent. It's there. This is the fire starter. This is I think they call it a ferrocerium rod fire starter. It's had a bit of use, as you can see. I will demonstrate that in a second. Yes, inside as well, because I like to live life on the edge. And then this is velcroed as well, and as you can see, it just slots onto this. Now Gerber do say that this is basically a nylon and hard rubber military grade sheath. Military grade is used so much nowadays. What's the criteria of military grade? Does one guy in the army just have to use it for 1 day or an hour? I mean, it's thrown around so much, it's just well, it just is. Okay, so this is the sheath. The way I deploy it is I push against this guard here, and then it slots in very securely, but you've got this Velcro support strap, I suppose, elasticated as well, to just keep it in place, to stop it from flicking against that when you're moving or walking, or in case it just came out. But that's quite a solid sheath that holds it in place. The fire starter, obviously you pull it away from you, and you do that. So you pull the fire starter away from you. There we go. But you get the gist. It's quite decent. Okay. I didn't set my table on fire either, so that's quite a bonus. But that's the fire starter, okay, and that and the whistle probably quite important notes to make, because don't think of it as, okay, this is a fixed knife, there you go. No, think of it as kind of an ultimate package, okay? You know, you could just put this in your bag, go, and you'd be okay, because you've got a cutting tool with serrations, which is decent. You've got something to make fire in a way, something to cut the kindling or logs or twigs up with the knife, and you've got a whistle to alert people as well. And on top of that, you've also got, I opened it but I didn't mention it, I should have done. This is a diamond coated knife sharpener, okay? It's not ideal, but it does beat sharpening your knife on a pebble or a rock, as Bear himself does. Now obviously to sharpen it, you would go against it, so that and you'd put a fair bit of force on it. Now you can either do this Ray Mears kind of way, or you can just do what I do, is hold it quite an angle, and then just really not push too hard, but just push firmly, and then obviously as the angle gradient rises, it makes a finer edge at the top, okay? And that is very important to know, because I've seen people do this, or you know, just do that, and then come this way and do that, and it's not very clear. It doesn't say anywhere in the instructions or anything how to actually sharpen a knife or anything like that. So, but my experience is you go against it, okay, and then yes, on this side you would also go against it, because you want that angle to get higher as you sharpen the edge, okay? That's a big feature. But like I say, that's an important feature to have on a fixed blade knife, I would say, or have any sharpener with you, because if you are using it to cut logs, twigs, kindling, your knife may well get blunt, okay? And other than sharpening it on a brick or a pebble or something, it's very decent to have a purpose-built sharpener somewhere on you, and they do that with this package, so that's another good thing. Okay, I think that covers the sheath. As they said, oh, actually, you've got a hook, so a loop system here, and one there, so it gives you options to put it on your belt. I don't think it's MOLLE compatible or anything like that, but that gives you options there. You've got this land to air rescue information. Obviously, you know, you not the YMCA, but you do make your Y letter and your N letters, and obviously your pausing and you know, your thumbs up and all those things, okay? But that's that, and obviously I keep the a little bit of extra. It's going to be an absolute pain to get out. Oh, it's not that difficult today then. But yeah, you obviously got your Bear Grylls survival guide, or additional fire making material, as I call it. But it's very useful, to be honest. It gives you, you know, also saves you from boredom, I suppose, if you're out in the wilderness. It gives you a little bit of orange hope to survive, just in case. Okay, you just never know. But it's useful because it's got a ruler on there as well, just so that you can obviously, you know, really measure just how long your cutting edge and think, no, I'm only kidding. Okay, so it's got all these things: how to tie a knot, how to set a deadfall trap. Very useful. Okay, navigation and things. I mean, yeah, I do agree that, you know, some of this is important. Other ways to make a fire, just in case you're, I think 2,000 uses of ferrocerium rod fails or something, but you've got that, and very important shelters and things there as well. Okay, and signalling. Okay, so that's actually quite an important thing to have somewhere, and mine just rests in the pre-made little thing there. Okay. Wow, that was surprisingly easy. I all got to practice with those transformers, I suppose. Okay, so there we go. So that goes in like that. Very, very tight fit. Yes, some good comments coming out of that, I suppose. So it's a tight fit. And there we go. So that's the sheath. I'll put that to one side for a moment, and we'll talk about the knife. I know this is 10 minutes, and it's a long time so far. As you can see, sharpening it, using it, it's a well-used knife. I have used it a lot. The tip either broke or changed, so I made the top bit a little bit sharper, and I resharpened it really. The serrations, you never really have any problem. People always complain and moan, oh, serrations are so hard to sharpen and things. They're not that hard to sharpen, okay? And they're very useful. The Gerber do a plain edge version of this. If you want to do that, go for it. But just for sawing and tearing, it's very, very useful having serrations on a fixed blade knife, okay? But yeah, so we'll just talk about the steel, okay? Now the steel, they say it's high carbon stainless steel. There's a drop point blade shape as well. I'd say that's kind of sabre ground as well. Adds strength to the whole knife. You saw me using the fire starter rod. It has a bit chipped away there so that you can do that efficiently. It would work with any rod, I would say. But the steel is really, of course it's Gerber's mystery steel. They don't say that it's 440, they don't say that it's 8CR or anything like that. It's literally just high carbon stainless steel. Okay, and my experience is it has been very hard to sharpen. Okay, I have other Gerber knives which haven't been that difficult, but for some reason this knife, I just found it an absolute pain to sharpen. Okay, it's a lot easier using the diamond coated sharpener that comes with it, rather than using, say, a sharp maker or something like that, or an axe sharpener. It's easier to sharpen it with their own diamond sharpener. Okay, so that's another helpful hint, I suppose. The ergonomics is very comfortable. Okay, it just feels really solid. Yeah, it's not that heavy. Like I say, it weighs in about 300 grams, but that's fine. I mean, for what you get, the size of that knife, and the pommel, sort of stainless steel pommel there, so you can hammer things. I haven't hammered too much into stuff because mainly they did have problems with the glue on the handle there, and it just cracking that bit of plastic. So I personally wouldn't just hammer that too much, unless that was the same steel, kind of, running all the way along to the blade. If that was full tang all the way to there and joined up, and it was the same steel, then yeah, of course I would. But because it's a separate chunk that's been glued on, I wouldn't overuse that part of the knife. Okay, but plenty of jimping there, nice texturing. It's rubber, but it's really grippy. So okay, it's very, very ergonomic. Okay, now final, and just a little note: the holes there and maybe there, you could put some paracord or rope or things like that. You could actually lash it to a log or bit of wood, and you could use that as a spear quite efficiently, really. Yeah, it's quite sharp, but it's not as pointy as the, personally I'd sharpen the stick into a point and use that rather than have a heavy knife lashed onto it. But that's just my opinion, because then if you let go of that sharp pointed stick or wood, that's not that bad. But if this comes undone or whatever, you've lost this. You've lost your primary tool for what, fire making, for smashing, for cutting, for tearing. You've lost that. I mean, I'd rather make a couple of sticks sharp and use them for hunting fish or something like that. Okay, because it depends on their eyesight, but I think they're going to see this a lot easier, and plus you won't be able to strike. This is just me talking about survival, but you wouldn't be able to strike as quick because it's heavier. You'd also use more energy, and using a sharpened stick or log would be more efficient way of using your energy than to lash this onto something and hit it, because it's 300 grams on the end of a log. It's but anyway, that aside, there is options there for you to do that. Okay, all right, so that's about it really. The price of one of these is about £68. Now, on its own, I wouldn't pay £68 for that, but with all the other features and things, I'd say it's just about worth it. Yes, it's made in China, but if it was made in America, bang, you're talking £100 easily. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And in a way, would the quality be any different if it was made in America? I mean, I think anybody could really make this. It's just a bit of metal, bit of plastic and rubber, all made in a pre-designed way. Why do some people have to be more qualified to do that? If everybody's kind of working from the same blueprint, it baffles me sometimes. But anyway, that's that, and I think it's quite worth it. £68, it's quite decent. But you're taking into all the other factors and things. Now, I'll quickly do a size comparison. Okay, obviously that's a fixed blade knife. It would be illegal to carry it in the UK. If you were going bushcrafting, okay, and you had it locked up in your boot of your car, and you're on your way to the bushcrafting place or the woods, I think that would be fine. But if you had it, say, in your glove compartment or in your footwell, no way, that you could get into serious trouble. Okay, so you know, if you've watched my UK law video, you'll see that, yeah, we are allowed to carry things like this, but obviously you need a very, very good reason, because otherwise you'd have chefs being arrested all the time, carpenters, things like that, tradesmen. Okay, so there has to be an extremely good reason, and if you have got an illegal knife to carry, you need to keep it locked away in a secure place, away from not just you, but other people that may use that as a weapon. Okay, anyway, rant over. Spyderco UK PK. This is just purely size comparison. Okay, the Spyderco Tenacious, always have that out. Also have a little pen knife, so it just goes to show you how big it is next to a pen knife. Okay, there's some size comparisons. Another knife or knife manufacturer you might think about spending money on is Mora Knife or Mora Niv. They make very good bushcraft knives. I have got a review on this one. Their writing's on the right hand side of the blade, and that's just another bushcrafting type survival knife you could use. Unfortunately, this version doesn't. Again, rubber handle, very secure and things, but hey, check out my review on that. But of course, this Mora knife doesn't come with the fire starter and your sharpener and all those things, so it's not a kind of a complete package. But this is sharp at the top, so you could just put your own fire starter in there and your own sharpener, so it gives you those kind of options. Okay, but anyway, that's my review. Sorry it's so long, but there we go. That's the review finally of the Gerber Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife, best-selling knife of 2011. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've had any experiences with this knife, don't just write in the comment, oh, it's rubbish. Please explain why, what your experiences are with it. I do appreciate that. Okay, once again, thanks for watching, and take care.